Hello, my name is Asa Lockhart, and I'm with the Scholars Program of Alania, and my presentation is going to be about SunDown Towns. See, let me explain to you what that is. SunDown Town is when African Americans worked, and then after the sun went down, they could not be in town, so they called it SunDown Town. What that means is, if you were downtown when the sun went down, there were serious consequences that you would have to face, like hanging, also known as lynching, or going to jail. So everyone will usually be out of town by the time the sun went down. And I'm about to do a presentation about that. So hope y'all enjoy.
And people bartered and shared and worked together to build the community and keep it vibrant.
And you have to think about it from the other perspective as well. A lot of that was out of necessity. That's why we lost the immigration. They were segregated.
Yeah.
You know, they weren't allowed above a certain street unless they were working, and then after a certain time they
had to get back
be
down
there.
here.
Exactly. So
Sundown.
you had to be in this area. They have sundown areas in Indianapolis. My grandfather was a kind of domestic painter. You know, he did domestic and odd jobs around white folks' homes.
Oh yeah, well I'm gonna tell you too from right now it still exists. Speedway and
Beach Grove.
Beach Grove.
Y'all know
Okay.
what Sundown Town means, don't y'all?
Anybody know what a
Sundown Town?
Just like class. If you don't know, you could ask.
Okay, Sundown Town means if you're black by sundown, you better be out of town, because if you're not leaving. Unless you
Or
leave
you're going to be thrown
first.
in jail, or you could be lynched, anything.
And Indiana had a lot of notorious sundown towns. Actually, that's one of the reasons. Actually, there was an author who's come to speak here a few years ago who wrote a book about sundown towns. And James Lowen. And actually, he criticized the fact that Indiana was building a car factory in an old sundown town, in which it meant no African Americans could apply for jobs because it's still a sundown town. Okay, and it's just a little bit westward called Greensburg.
Right.
Okay. Beach Grove itself is still sundown town. I can understand when I moved to Indianapolis, my wife and I went to look at houses. We happened to look at a house in Beach Grove because I didn't know about Beach Grove at that time. My wife, who happens to be white, and I walk in. I got my mother-in-law, my realtor. Some white guy comes running out, tattoos all over, no shirt, pants, you know, typical idea of a redneck. And at first he says, oh no, we can't have that in our neighborhood. It's not going to happen. And he didn't have to say anything more. I knew exactly what he was talking about. He was talking about the idea of a black man, as well as a black and interracial couple, buying a house in Beach Grove. They have problems.
They do that still?
Yes.
You're talking about recently?
I'm talking about recently. This happened in 2003. Okay? So we're talking 7 years ago. This is when this happened.
There are black people who live in Beach Grove. However, there are still certain areas in Beach Grove where they discouraged, quote unquote.
And most blacks who live in Beach Grove live on the outer edges of Beach Grove. And to be honest, the only reason they're there is because their kids are playing sports like basketball or football. Because otherwise, they're not going to school in Beach Grove.
Cause like he's like very wealthy. He got like kind of a big house, like Beach Grove, whatever. I forgot what it's called, with a like little. It's like a condo kind of. Mini,
Yeah, but that's because if you got enough money, they're not going to stop. They can't stop you. But the key part is you're going to have to put up with everything else that comes with that.
And the fact is, you don't look at it sort of these days as a total segregation. You look at the number of blacks. There are reasons why there are not a whole lot of blacks on the south side.
Oh yeah.
Even though there's a growing Hispanic population, a growing black population on the south side of Indianapolis now. Places like Greenwood, still not a whole lot of blacks. Martinsville, Greenwood, all these places were
These are all
sundown
Ku Klux
towns.
Klan bastions. I mean, and I actually lived in Greenwood when I first went to Indiana in 2000, and people were very quick to tell me, do not live in certain areas around Indianapolis. They said, don't move south of Greenwood.
Right.
You know, they said, don't go near Martinsville.
Oh no.
Don't go down near Franklin. Don't go down to Whiteland. Don't go near New Whitestown. Don't go near
They named
Zionsville.
those, well, and one of the things James Lowen was saying is a lot of the towns
named
with colors in their name are sundown towns.
Yes. So if you hear Whiteland, New Whitestown,
Yes.
Whitestown,
Yes.
they're sundowns. That's basically saying whites only.
Right.
And that's why they were named that way. And if you go throughout Indiana, you'll find a lot of Whitestowns, New Whitestowns, Whiteville. That's what it was all about. And most people don't catch that today because they say, well, oh, everybody's happy, we're integrated. Well, the fact is, we're not that integrated. I mean,
And they used to have actual signs up to that effect to let you know. It wasn't just an unspoken rule.
Oh, no.
They would have signs up that you needed to be out of that place.
it would say by
sundown.
6 p.m. or sundown,
That's right.
don't let your back be hit by
Right.
the shade.
That's what my grandfather said. They had
And
signs.
you
and
will
you could
find,
go in the daytime and work, but you had to be out.
It's a little bit more subtle now. Now you just see a barn with a Confederate flag painted on the side of it.
and I guarantee you can go down Lafayette Street here in Indianapolis, and I'm not going to say where it's at, but there is a bar that I would tell you right here in the center of Indianapolis, on Lafayette about 30th Street. Yeah, that bar will not let itself be darkened. I can actually tell you, a friend of mine's truck broke down, we were fixing it, and we were on the street, which means we were on public property. They were upset that we were going to ruin their clientele, only because of color of their skin. So there are problems, there's still these issues within the city. And that's why it's important that we talk about the industry. That's one of the reasons why Dr. Mullins is doing what he's doing, Dr. Henry does what she does, I'm going to be doing what I do, because we want people to remember what happened here, because it's happening everywhere in the country. Everywhere there's a black community in this country, if you find an urban institution, just go up to Detroit, for example, you know, the same thing is happening. Our black community has been dislocated to create this Institute of Higher Learning, and who has benefited from it? Not necessarily the black community. And that's the problem. And so it's up to us to keep it alive, but then it's up to you guys to help try to change it. Because you're the future. I might be around another 50 years, but you guys got to change it. You got a lot longer to change it. So it's up to you guys to change it.